Hello, welcome to episode 52 of Little Bobbins Knits. My name's Dani and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Little Bobbins. We have a Ravelry group which you can find by searching Little Bobbins Knits in the groups tab on Ravelry, and show notes for the podcast can be found at littlebobbins.co.uk. Yes. So it's been a little while since the last podcast, and thank you so much to everyone who's been in touch since. It's just been lovely to hear from you. I'm a little bit behind in messages, but I'm hoping to get back to everyone as soon as I can. This summer's just been, it's just gone in a whirlwind.
It's gone really quick.
It's felt like. So I've got my mum back again, which is always lovely for me.
Thank you.
And I know lots of you really enjoy seeing mum as well, because I've heard from quite a few people who watch the podcast that, I suppose like me, don't just knit, they sew as well and do lots of other different things. So it's quite nice having a different perspective and seeing mum's work, because it's so different from what I do. So thank you for coming on again, Mum.
You're welcome.
So we've got quite a lot to show, because I think it's been about 6 weeks since the last
Gosh.
podcast. And I've got quite a lot finished. So I've been to a few events. There's Bobbin. Bobbin! Come on! I won't talk about all of them in this podcast. We'll just talk about the one that we went to together.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll get started. I need to start with telling you about what I'm wearing. Because I'm boiling hot and I need to take it off. I'm so in love with this cardigan. It's just so lovely, isn't it? It actually makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
You enjoyed knitting it as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Madewell by Hohi Locatelli. And I've knit it in a homespun house, Molly's soft sock base, which is so lovely, isn't it? You knit a few rows on this, didn't you? And you noticed how just soft and lovely it was.
Yeah.
And it's in the If You're a Bird, I'm a Bird colourway. If you're not familiar, that's a reference to The Notebook, the film.
Oh, okay. Oh, you
It's a
liked that
quote in
film,
The
didn't
Notebook.
you?
So when I cast this on, I watched The Notebook.
Oh, that's...
And started knitting through tears.
Yeah.
But I just had to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love it so much. Hopefully I'll be able to insert a little bit of video of me wearing it. I'm hoping to get some photos this weekend. But I'm just thrilled with it. And I think it's a really great pattern to do if you've never done a garment before, because it's really, really simple. It's top down, and yeah, it just has basic increases, and then you put the stitches for the sleeve on waste yarn, and then when you've done the body you pick those up. I think next time I'll pick up a couple more stitches under the arm, because I had to sort of sew in the ends to close holes a bit.
Yeah.
And I think if I picked up just 2 more, that wouldn't be so necessary. And then pick up the button band. The button band felt very, very long. I never do 1 by 1 rib, so knit 1, purl 1. On my socks I always do knit 2, purl 2, because I just find it more pleasant to work, I think. So the button band did feel quite long, and I was getting so close to the end.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, oh, these rows are taking like half an hour.
I quite like doing knit 1, purl 1.
Do you? But we knit differently, don't we?
We do.
We discovered.
We do, yeah. We thought we knitted exactly the same, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. And we don't at all.
No.
We hold our yarn differently and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should get some video.
Yeah.
Although I think it would only be interesting to us. The little differences.
Yeah. Yeah, your fingers move quite a lot, don't they?
Oh, and I don't think it's easy to explain,
No,
is it?
no.
I hold my needle like a pencil, and you do as well, don't you, with your needle resting on your thumb. But I hold my finger up at an angle.
Yeah, and you wrap your yarn round the
opposite way to you.
me. Yeah.
But you keep your finger quite down
low.
close to the needle.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get a video. And I'm going to have to work out how to put them side by side, which I don't think I can, so.
No.
But Yeah, let's do that this
We
afternoon.
found it really exciting, didn't we?
We found it really bizarre.
Yeah.
For the whole time, we've thought that we knit exactly the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
I felt quite sad that we don't knit the same.
Well, I have sort of really kept my knitting like I knit because I thought, because I'm sentimental about it, because it's how my mum knits.
Yeah, it's not.
And it's not. But it sort of is. It's similar. You can see there's a sort of common thread.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's all there is to say about this, I think. I absolutely love it. Oh, another thing actually, because it's a sort of speckled, well it is speckled, it's not sort of speckled, I did alternate skeins. I knit the top part until sort of just under splitting the arms with one skein, and then I started bringing in another skein, and I think it's, maybe I'll take it off and show it.
Manage. Oh, you haven't cut the threads.
I haven't cut all of my ends.
Oh, that's a usual you.
Probably cut that bit out. I don't think I've seen anyone get out of a cardigan so awkwardly. Right.
Oh, you cooler now?
Yeah. So that's what it looks like. I think it...
You didn't do the shaping.
Oh no, I didn't do the waist shaping.
Yeah.
There's just a little bit of waist shaping at the back, but I didn't do that. And I didn't do it for a couple of reasons. I wanted it just a loose, flowy cardigan, so that's one of the reasons. And also, I didn't want to have to be measuring and concentrating at all.
Right.
I just wanted to be able to knit it until it looked like it was long enough, and then measure it. So
well, that's quite unusual for you because you like to have something different to do.
Not in the middle of a large swathe of stocking stitch, really.
Right. Yeah.
So, and trying it on now, I'm quite pleased I didn't do the shaping because I don't think it needed it with this cardigan.
Because have you cast on your next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I think alternating the skeins just spread out the speckles nicely, although I don't know that I needed to.
No.
I'm not sure.
No.
But I would
in case.
Again, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
But
It's
where it
such
is at the
lovely
top
yarn.
and going down, that it's all really nicely dispersed, isn't it? I just think it's beautiful. I did use some different tools that I haven't used before when I blocked. I got these Knit Pro knit blockers, and they're a series of pins on a piece of plastic, so you can easily block straight lines. You don't have to put in 5 pins, you can just put in one of these knit blockers. And I like them in principle, they work well, but, and I found this with some Knit Pro pins before, they've snagged my yarn because a couple of the pins were bent. Look, you can see one there.
Yeah.
And I'm really unimpressed with that because that's not what you expect. If there's a tool for blocking, you expect it to be as kind to your yarn as possible because that's what it's for.
Didn't the pins you had go rusty or something?
Yeah, I got some Knit Pro just blocking T-pins and they rusted in my project.
And the other ones, the other T-pins you've got, they don't at all.
The ones that I got with my blocking wires, they don't at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to throw away the ones with the bent ends, but I will still use the other ones. But it does make me cautious about buying blocking supplies from Knit Pro.
Yeah. I mean, you can easily remedy it, can't you? Because you can...
I can, but I don't want to have to.
No, that's right.
But I can.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really, really love this project. I just love it. I think I'm going to live in it.
Apart from when it's hot.
Yeah, apart from today when I'm boiling hot. There have been quite a few times lately because it's been quite hot in the days, hasn't it? But then the evening time has been quite chilly.
Yeah.
And I've thought, oh, if only this was finished because I would wear it.
Yeah.
But it is now.
Yeah.
And the sleeves have quite a long amount of rib. So you can either have them down over your arms, which I quite like because I quite like long sleeves, or have them folded back, which I also really like.
Mm.
Yeah, couldn't be happier about this.
Mm.
And the yarn's just blocked beautifully. So yeah, that's my first finished object that we had to do out of order so that I didn't overheat.
That's lovely.
So, shall we chat about our works in progress now?
Yep.
What have you been working on?
Well, I've done a little bit on this. I'm not going to call it my needle case anymore. It's my sewing case, because
Okay.
you can get lots in
Yeah.
it. So I did an applique thing. I want to make a wall hanging, and this is the wall hanging I want to make, only longer. So I thought I'd just try it out. So it's like a little circus. It's just Bondweb applique, and it's a pocket, so I can keep a project in there.
That's so fun! Did you
Yeah.
see that? It's a little pocket.
Yeah, so I can put the project in. What I did do with this, I had the middle in, this middle bit in, but
So you've got a patch ready there.
oh yeah, but I undid it because I hadn't put wadding in the middle of this,
Right.
and it was a bit too flimsy.
Mm-hmm.
So I unstitched it and then just stitched it back up. So I've got a little. I've put in a little one. This is Jessie Chorley's. One of her. Yeah, she sold some different stamped fabric in a pack. So I that was out of that. So I put that in.
Was that there before? I don't remember this little book with the button.
Oh no, I had.
How did you do this?
What?
The cord?
Oh, just
Like blanket stitch?
yeah, over the thing, yeah. But I wanted it to close for them to keep the needles in.
So we've had some questions about this.
Right.
You need a line there.
Oh, well spotted.
Because lots of people thought that this was beautiful and got in touch and were asking what sort of fabrics you're using.
Oh right, okay. Well, that's just calico.
But you've put wadding in it.
Yes, I've put wadding in it.
And
And
this
that's
one?
linen.
I don't know if people can see. So,
That's calico.
But you're not being overly precious about the fabric, are you? You're just using what colour works. Is that right?
Yeah, just what fabric I've got. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
And then
so-
these are little bits of flannel, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're very, very soft.
Yeah, and then that's flannel inside. And I'd made a thing to hold the pens, and I didn't like it. It was too bulky, so I did another one there. And that's got my thimbles in, but I turned down
They're
the
like little
colour.
plaster thimbles.
Yeah, and then that's another thing to put stuff in. And then I've got to do this. That was off something, a pocket off something.
Mm.
And so I'm going to stitch that on because I quite like it. It's sparkly.
Yeah.
And then that's one of your little
Mm.
things in that. So that's good for holding threads in. And then that's a little stitch
Oh,
marker.
yeah. We
No.
got a lovely package from Michelle. Michelle's
Yeah.
just recently opened an Etsy shop. She's selling stitch markers and it's called Love by Little Map on Etsy. And she sent me some absolutely lovely stitch markers and she sent Mum a whole
Yeah,
load of
which
lovely,
was
lovely
very
stitch
kind.
markers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was really lovely. I'll show you some more of mine
Yeah.
next time. But yeah,
So I put that little
it's
pearl
so
on
pretty.
the edge, yeah. So that's a
And then
work in progress.
The back.
Oh, I've done. You've
I
shown
shown the
that.
back?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you've shown the front and the back, just not the inside.
I just love it. But that was a Liberty Charm pack, wasn't it? And then there's
Yeah.
some linen and then
Yeah.
there's some cotton.
Yes,
So yeah, it's just, and you love using scraps, don't you?
I do.
That's a little bit of a hanky.
That was from Jessie Chorley.
A little box of
Yeah,
goodies, yeah.
yeah.
What would you call hanky in other places, do you think?
I don't know. I don't even know if it was a hanky. It
Oh,
might
was
have
it
been
not?
a tea tray.
Oh,
or
I got you some hankies,
table.
didn't I,
You
from
did.
that antique
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
But it's got a lovely edging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So
So it's still evolving.
it's still evolving, and I'm still very much in love with Jessie Chorley's work.
Mm.
Yeah.
We were hoping to go up to the shop, weren't we?
Oh, I was so disappointed.
She had a journal exhibition and we were hoping to go up and see it together.
On Saturday, yes.
Yeah.
But I went away with a friend and we'd mixed up the dates. I thought we were going on Monday, but we actually were going on Saturday, so we couldn't go, could we?
No, but we will.
Yeah.
Another time.
Yeah.
I'll do one of mine now. And I've got to show my bag. I've shown this on Instagram, but I don't think I've shown it on a podcast before. So Mum made a panel for me and then I sewed it into a bag. And Mum's actually made some for the shop, haven't you? We put some in the shop a week or so ago, and it's just so exciting to be able to work together, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Especially because we're so different. So I don't think we could work on, say, like designing something together maybe.
Well, when we've made baby quilts, you've done the design and I've done the applique, but we've changed bits. I've designed a little bit.
Yeah, I
and
suppose.
then so we have done things together like that. But yes, we are very different.
But it's been lovely.
Yeah,
working
lovely
on
working
those
together. Yeah.
Just really exciting. And it was really fun putting them in the shop, and it was just so lovely how well received they were, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really, really nice. So yeah, Mum made me this, and this is on an antique
tea towel that we got from Wendover.
Yeah.
It was one that you picked up 2 or 3, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's got a really lovely texture.
Yeah.
There's something about old fabric.
Yeah.
It's really,
Yeah, the texture's really lovely on that.
yeah. So it's got all sorts of little details. And some patchwork around the sides. So, and I just put some polka dot linen on the back of this one. So this project, I'm knitting another one of those cardigans. I've signed up to go on the Curious Handmade Country House retreat again. Helen's holding another retreat in October. And some of my very good friends are going on the retreat as well, and it's really, really exciting. So we decided that we would knit something together, and what we decided to do, and wear it while we're there and get a photo all together in the same cardigan. That's totally my obsession. I don't know if anyone else is that thrilled about that part.
It'll be interesting to see how different they are though, won't
Well,
it?
already seeing, I saw Deb posted a picture of hers yesterday,
Right.
and it's a really, really deep, rich teal. And Paula's doing one in this really lovely, that's a rich colour as well, blue. And then Amanda's doing one in this really vibrant pink.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really, really interesting to see them all together. And I think Julie, who is also going to the retreat, she's doing one.
All right.
I don't know, she was doing one in green, but she might change it to a different colour. And then someone else who's on the retreat with us is joining in as well, Emma. So
Fantastic.
I don't know what colour she's going to do hers in, but
It'll be interesting.
yeah, it'll be really, really fun. So I'm doing my next one in another speckled colour, and this is Blush from the Wool Barn. I don't know if it just doesn't like focusing if it can see a face. Oh, there we go. So this is Maya's luxury sock. I wonder if you can see all the lovely colours.
It's really beautiful, isn't it? Blush is such a good
there it is.
name for it.
Yeah. So it's got sort of maybe the slightest sort of hint of just pinky, orangey, browny speckles, and it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
And the luxury sock is an 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. So yeah, absolute joy to work with. And I've cast mine on.
And that's all you've done.
That's
really.
all I've done. I'm also using these beautiful stitch markers. Maya has had stitch markers made for her shop in the sort of colours of her shop.
Oh,
And they're so
lovely.
perfectly representative of her shop.
And you love
aren't
this
they?
metallic-y.
I love metallic and I love these stitch markers.
Yeah, they're gorgeous, aren't they?
Yeah, so they're the really, really lovely ring style stitch markers, completely snag free ones. And yeah, I think I've done about 6 rows. So I've got a long way to go. But that's fine. I'm just gonna, I've got until the middle of October, so I'm just going to enjoy this. I find with top-down cardigans, I enjoy them the most when I've taken the sleeves off.
Yeah.
And there's just some body to do. And this is totally how I enjoy knitting, where you have the bits that you have to concentrate on with the increases and things. You just get them out of the way first, and then you've just got the plain to do.
Yeah.
So I knit the last one on 3.5mm needles, and I'm doing the same on this. I really like the fabric that it made, and these are my higher sharps, and I'm just quite excited to get into that, really. And in this bag I've got a lovely lavender bag that Mum made me. This was out of some Liberty fabric that we got when we were in London. It's filled with lavender, it's lovely.
Oh yeah, it's very nice. And the thing is, even though we knit very differently, our tension is the same. So I can perhaps do a bit of that when you and David are off somewhere. I can sit here and do a bit.
Yep. So yes, that's my first project. I wonder if Bobbin's going to come and see us today. He's down there on his little cushion.
He's asleep.
So what else are you working on?
That's it really.
Well, you've got those.
Oh, yes, these that I'm doing for you, for the shop. So that's one.
So these are slightly different to last time, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, they're all going to be completely one of a kind.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mum's working on some more little
stitcheries
fronts for the bag.
So,
I love the little button on that with the bird.
Oh, you chose that when we were at Fibre East.
I just love that. I don't think it will focus, so I won't even try.
So these are sort of finished, ready for you to make the bag.
Yeah.
That button was from Fibre East
So
as well.
cute. What button's that? Oh yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
Because that's sort of similar to the embroidery that you do.
I'm going to change that slightly. And that's one.
And that middle one is a button that I actually made out of shrink plastic, isn't it? Years ago.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, they're lovely.
So you painted the shrink plastic? And then...
Or coloured it in with colouring pencil.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Can't remember.
Yeah, I thought they were absolutely lovely.
Okay, so on to my next work in progress. This is in my lovely Jenna Rose handmade bag. This was a lovely gift from Antonella, who has the Diary of a Yarnaholic podcast. Yeah, she's really lovely. She's got a dog called Jackson, who is just gorgeous.
That's a lovely bag, isn't it?
Yeah. So, I love this shawl. So that was my first work in progress, was a Hohi Locatelli pattern. This is also a Hohi Locatelli pattern.
Oh.
So yeah, there's a theme. This is the Party on My Needles shawl, and I love it so much. It's so close to being cast off, and you won't get a full idea of the size of it because it's squashed up on the needle a bit, but I love it.
It's really pretty.
So I'm knitting this in a homespun house. This is Molly's Dale base, and I am just in love with this. It's not superwash, so it's really, really woolly, and it's bouncy and squishy and spongy and I just love it.
And I did a couple of rows on this.
Yeah.
The plain bits. And what I loved about it, you could watch the different colours coming up.
Yeah.
And it's got so many different colours in it.
Yeah. And you just get
It's real
like
fun.
here, you've got a stitch of purple, a stitch of blue, a stitch of green, a stitch of red,
Yeah.
a stitch of white, a stitch of pink.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Feels
that's all
lovely.
I've got left of the birthday cake. There's one skein, and then this is my second skein, and then this is that is just one of my favourite colours.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got a cardigan you wear quite a lot
Yeah.
in that colour, haven't you?
This is barley, the barley colourway. This is also a homespun house in the Dale base. And it's just lovely. So I'm knitting this with Molly from my homespun house. We're having a little knit along, which is a lot of fun. And I wanted to get as much of this yarn into the shawl as possible. So I think that the pattern would have finished back here somewhere.
Oh, right, and you've just carried on.
But I've just carried on, and I can't get another pattern repeat out of this because I've weighed it and checked.
Oh, right.
And so I'm...
It's very close.
Sorry. So I'm very, very close to finishing now.
Yeah.
It's a... Gosh, I feel like there's so much to say about this, but I'm just not getting out. I've also got a lovely little stitch marker there, or progress keeper. It's a little donut with a heart on it. Have you seen that?
Oh,
How
that's
cute's
cute.
that? That's from a homespun house too. So the lace pattern is sort of a really simple feather and fan. Feather and fan is a lovely, really, really old lace pattern, I think. And if you've watched this podcast before, you'll know that I'm most likely to mess up really simple lace patterns. So I did. My first lace pattern on this, I completely messed it up. So then I put in stitch markers. And as soon as I put in stitch markers, it meant that I put my stitch marker in the middle of, you do 6 knit 2 togethers. So I've put my stitch marker in the middle of those. So every time, I don't need to count rows now.
Right.
Because every time I get to a lace row, I just count out from that stitch marker to work out where I begin the next lace pattern. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense.
So I just count 3 knit 2 togethers and then the rest all along there.
So you haven't made another mistake on it?
I haven't made another mistake. I've
Well,
got
that's sensible,
1,
isn't it?
2, 3 stitch markers, and every time I get to one of these stitch markers, I know I should have got there by doing 3 knit 2 togethers. And if I haven't, I can just go back and work out where I've gone wrong. But it hasn't happened since putting in the stitch markers. They're just so...
safety net, really.
Yeah, they're so useful. And I think with a simple lace pattern, I sometimes think, oh, well, I won't need stitch markers because it's so easy. But they've meant that I don't have to mark off what row I'm on.
Yeah.
And I don't have to worry about making mistakes and going back. So.
And it is with the simple ones, because if you're doing a complicated lace pattern, you do it well, don't you? You don't make mistakes on it.
I think it engages your brain in a different way. And
you're probably concentrating more.
And if there's more lace, like say it's an entire lace thing, then you can relate the row you're doing to the rows below it. But because this is just one lace row in a bunch of garter stitch, you can't easily relate it down. It does flow down, but you just don't see it at first glance when you're knitting it.
How it looks, it makes a sort of wavy pattern.
And it will, when it comes off the needles, it will make those lovely waves.
Yeah.
So.
And then you'll block it and it'll really show it, won't it?
Yeah. So yeah, that's that one. I'm knitting this on 3.5mm Chiaogu interchangeable needles, and I really, really like the Chiaogu needles when you've got a lot of stitches on the needle, because they're wire wrapped. It's a wire core, and then it's got plastic on the outside. They're really, really sturdy, and your needles... I just stabbed you, haven't I? Sorry. Sometimes if you're knitting and you've got a lot of stitches on the needle and the cable's a bit flimsier, you can get sort of little squiggly bits, but that never happens with these. It keeps it really nice and solid. So yeah, that's that one.
That'll be finished soon.
I just can't wait. I think that this is going to live on the back of my desk chair.
Oh,
and whenever it's chilly,
I'm
just going to pop this on, because I think it's going to be like a blanket.
Yeah.
And it's such a
It's really
warm,
pretty.
such a warm yarn that I think it will be really cosy.
It's very happy.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. It's lucky it fits in that bag.
It's a bit of a squeeze now, I have to say. And I always make sure I push it right down, because if the zip got caught in it, I would cry.
Yeah.
So you haven't got any more works in progress?
No.
I've got just one more. And, oh, this is a little bag that I made when we went away to Munsley. I just really wanted to sew one. And I loved the size, so I did make a few for my shop, and I might in the future. I just think the size is really cute for socks.
Oh, this is an interesting work in progress.
So these are some socks, and I'm knitting these with my friend Amanda. And we were at Fibre East, and Amanda said, well, I can't remember actually, because she said we remember the conversations differently.
Oh, do you?
She remembers it probably accurately. But all I remember is Amanda suggested that we knit some odd socks, and they can be our Dobby socks, because we're both big fans of Harry Potter. And so that's what we're going to do. And a couple of people are joining us on Instagram, which is really, really fun. So if you want to join in and make some Dobby socks, we're using the hashtag Dobby Socks Along, and all you have to do is knit any socks that you fancy, but just in odd yarn. Yeah, odd yarn makes sense, doesn't it?
But
different
you've got,
yarns. So yeah, I got this, it was a set from Sarah's Texture Crafts, and it was 2 skeins, 50-gram skeins of sock yarn, and perfect. So yeah, I've started those. I really, really love the colours. I think they're so fun. And I really want one of those little Dobby figures when he's holding the sock.
Yeah.
I desperately want one of those, so I'm going to have to get one.
Yeah.
Why fight it? So he can be my Dobby Socks mascot. And they haven't got very far. I'm not really in a sock knitting frame of mind at the moment for some reason.
Maybe because the time of year?
I don't know. I just think it comes and goes. At the moment I'm quite liking longer rows, I suppose. So, but I'll take these with me on Sunday when we go. So that's mostly what I've got so far. And it's coming out really, really lovely. I really like this base. I don't know where I've put the label, so I must have a look, but it's really soft.
It is. I love the way it's been dyed.
Yeah,
And it's
beautiful.
coming out really nicely, isn't it?
Yeah. And the other one is nothing, really. I think it's 1 row after casting on. I'm
So you're
using
going to do them at the same time?
I'm going to try.
And you're just doing plain socks, aren't you?
Completely plain.
What sort of heel are you going to put in them?
I'll just do a heel flap and yeah, Dutch heel turn, because that's my favourite. Slip stitch heel flap. I'm using my high sharps 2.25mm needles, and I'm excited about those. But they'll probably just be in my bag, and I'll just knit on them whenever I'm out and about.
And you'll be able to wear those to the retreat.
Yeah, we're going to get a photo of those as well at the retreat. Oh dear. So yeah, that's my last thing that I'm sort of actively working on at the moment.
I love both the colours.
I know, they're
Just
really
so
fun, aren't they?
lovely.
It is really, really beautifully dyed. So, should we go on to finished objects? I have a lot of finished objects this time. Would you mind passing me my tea, please? Thank you. Have you got any finished objects?
No.
Ooh. Okay. What is this tea that we've got? Chamomile, marshmallow root,
And fennel.
nettle. Oh, fennel. It's nice.
It's nice.
Okay, let's do finished objects. So there was my cardigan. Let's do this one first. I finally finished my True Friend sweater. I think it's called that in the pattern. I'd usually say jumper. This is by Vera Valimaki, and I cast it on. I remember it vividly. I cast it on last year, probably around this time last year, when I should have been packing.
Right.
But I was stressed about whether the house was going to happen or not, so I didn't want to pack. I thought I'd cast on something new instead. And I just finished it like a month ago.
Yeah, well, you couldn't pick it up and do it because it just reminded you of how you felt at that time.
And I won't work on things if I'm not feeling, because knitting is all about pleasure for me. Nothing is, what's that word?
I have no idea.
I don't want any part of my knitting life to be doing it because I have to.
Oh, okay.
Anything like that. So, and I wasn't feeling it for a while, so I just didn't pick it up. But this is the jumper. Hopefully I'll get a picture. No, I've got a picture, so hopefully I'll pop it in.
Yes, you've got a picture of you wearing this.
Yeah.
You finished this a while ago, actually.
Yeah, it was about a month ago.
Yeah. It's probably just after the last time you podcast.
I think it was. So this jumper,
So
you started it at the neck, and then you knit down these panels on both sides. Both sides are the same. Oh, this needs one of my labels. Oh, so does my cardigan. I need to actually sew it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you knit those panels on the front and back, and then you pick up all the stitches all around here and all around the back. So for a long time you're just knitting this big, weird looking flat thing.
Yeah.
It was really, really interesting. I really enjoyed it while I was knitting on it. And then I think I put it away again because I didn't want to knit the sleeves. And can you believe it? They're so tiny. But they must have stopped me for a good few months. And they took all of about half an hour when I actually got around to knitting them.
It looks really lovely on.
It's different, isn't it? But I think I will get a lot of wear out of it.
Yeah.
It's just quite interesting.
Yeah.
And I knit it, this plain colour is, or the plain yarn is Drops Baby Alpaca Silk, and the speckled yarn is the Wool Barn. And it was a one-of-a-kind skein from the Wool Barn, and isn't it gorgeous?
Goes really well. Yeah.
I really, really liked this pattern because it meant that I could use a less expensive yarn for the main body, and then one of my special skeins for the contrast, because it just took one skein for that. So I thought that was really, really nice, because I quite often just pick up one really, really lovely skein, and I don't always want it to be socks, and I don't always want it to be a shawl, so it was just a really lovely thing to be able to use it in a jumper. And then, yeah, you have a 3-needle bind off up the sides, and suddenly this thing looks like a jumper, and it's just really fun. So I really, really enjoyed that.
And those little labels that you put on, who were they?
They're from Grain Deep on Etsy. I just put a picture of them on my Instagram the other day because I was choosing one to sew on that on this Madewell cardigan. I think I'm going to go with pink, but I haven't sewn it on yet, so I must. This is what happens to me. I start doing something, get completely distracted, and start doing something completely different. So I must actually sew it on, because I just think they're a lovely finishing touch, aren't they?
They are.
Really, really special.
Yeah.
They say little bobbins on, and they've got a little bit of bunting. They do completely personalised. You can just send them a design, I think, which is fun. And my other two finished objects are the shawls from the Shawl Society. I remember I was knitting this one in the last podcast, wasn't I?
That's very delicate.
It's so pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think I've managed to get a photo of me wearing this yet, so I must try and do that. But it's in Madeline Tosh Prairie, which is the lace weight, and it's a single ply lace weight, which I really like. I really like single ply yarns for shawls especially, because they just block out so beautifully.
That's got a pretty edging, hasn't it?
Yeah. And I did the large size, but I can't remember now, and I don't write notes at the moment, so I did a couple more repeats because I wanted to use as much of the yarn as I could. So I weighed it to see how many repeats I could get out of it, and just used it up until I knew I wouldn't get another repeat.
You used to keep notes, you used to keep a knitting journal, didn't you? Do you not do that now?
Not at the moment.
Right.
And it's always really sad because I really, really love that, and I'm always thinking, oh, I must do that again, but I'm just not making the time to do it at the moment.
And the
But I
thing
will
is,
at some point.
you think you'll remember what you've done, and
Oh,
you just
I don't.
No.
I never remember what I've done.
That pattern's really lovely.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's blocked out really nicely. You can really see it well.
So that was really nice. And this was the second shawl in the Shawl Society. What was this one called? The Amulet Shawl. That was the Talisman. This one's the Amulet Shawl.
Have you started the next one yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
And I did the large version of this as well.
That's really pretty.
I must get a photo of wearing this one too.
Such lovely yarn.
I've just been so thrilled with the shawls that have come out of the Shawl Society so far. I just think this is so pretty.
I'd love that one. I would love the other one too.
I think it'll go with my new boots.
Oh, it will.
Won't
It'll go very nicely with your new boots, yes.
So I've knit the speckledy yarn is from the Wool Barn. That's in Maya's luxury sock, and it's called Rhubarb. And this was one that I got when I was at the retreat. So it's really nice. I do struggle so much with using my nicest yarns. So I did come up with quite a few other options for the colours of this. And it was a bit of I really had to force myself to cast on with this because but what am I holding it for?
I know, because it looks so much lovelier knitted up than it does in the stash.
I don't know, I like it in the stash. And then the brown is it's Cascade Heritage, and the colour, I can't remember, I think it might be Camel, but I've actually written this in my Ravelry project note, so that's good.
It's such a lovely brown.
It is really warm, isn't it?
Yeah, and sort of soft colour, and it goes really nicely with this one.
And that's another sort of nice way of pairing something really special with something less expensive, because the Cascade isn't too expensive, but it's a really nice soft yarn.
Yeah.
And it's just worked really well in this shawl, I think. Isn't the lace at the bottom lovely?
It's so pretty.
And this lace is my favourite type of lace because you can totally see what's happening. As soon as you've got your first row established, you know when you've gone wrong in the next row.
Yeah.
Or you don't even go wrong because you can see what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And I love how the edge works out to a little
peak. So that's really pretty,
isn't it?
Yeah. And this is really pretty too. This bit.
It's got a lovely drape to it as well. I think I've made sort of a silent agreement in my head to do the large size of all of these Shawl Society patterns, because big shawls are my favourite.
Yeah. And particularly in the winter, you wear them a lot, don't you?
Big shawls, yeah. I don't tend to wear shawls unless it's winter, unless it's cold. So the smaller ones I just don't gravitate towards as much.
I wore the cream shawl you made me in that very short space of time because I wanted it for the wedding. I wore that yesterday.
The Ashling shawl by Justina Lorkowska. Yeah. That's really lovely. That's in the wool barn as well.
Yeah.
That's in her silk sock base. It's just beautiful.
It is beautiful.
That was a 2-skein shawl as well though.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one took 1 skein for the body and then nearly a whole skein for that lace edging because it's all lacy and cabley.
Yeah. So pretty. But it was nice because it was a bit chilly yesterday. And it was just nice to wear over my dress that I didn't wear a coat. It's just nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so lovely and soft.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like the big shawls.
I like the little ones too. Just
yeah, you wear them in the summer or springtime, don't you?
Spring and autumn, yeah, I do. Yeah.
You ask for my tea again, please.
It'll be a bit cold now, Dan.
That's okay. So that's all of my finished objects. So shall we show our lovely things?
Yeah.
Do you want to start? Or shall I?
You.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, I remember in the last episode I told you about this lovely spinning fibre that I got that I wanted to show you. This was sent to me by Vicky. Vicky runs the Spinner's Cottage and she also puts out a digital magazine called Fiberlution.
Oh.
Really interesting. So I'll put links to all of the things that I talk about in the podcast on the show notes. But these are just lovely. I just love, now the camera's blowing that out from what I can see. It's a much more rich orange. It is autumn in a braid, isn't it? And this is Targi, which is really, really exciting for me because I've never spun with Targi. I've never even, it's a sheep breed.
Right, okay.
I've never even felt it. I think it's much more prevalent is prevalent the right word? In America.
Oh, okay.
They're much more common sheep in America. Really soft and bouncy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see how that spins up. I tend to like spinning when it gets colder.
You do.
So,
are you going to spin this on your wheel?
yes.
Yeah, you ought to have your wheel down here rather than up in your room.
No.
But you're more likely to spin down here, aren't you?
The sofa upstairs is much more comfortable for spinning. So,
I love it when you spin. I like sitting next to you and I doze off.
You do.
Yeah.
So I just thought this was beautiful.
It is beautiful.
I'm so intrigued because it is really, really bouncy. I'm going to have a look in my Fleece and Fibre source book, see what it says about this breed. But yeah, really love it. And then Vicky also sent me this one, which is also lovely.
It's very colourful, isn't it?
It's got sort of teals, pinks, purples, greens.
And what's that?
And this, I don't know how you pronounce this.
Okay.
It looks like Cheviot, but I've heard people say Cheviot and all sorts of different pronunciations. If you do know how it's pronounced, I would really be interested to know how you actually say it. But yeah, it's 100% Cheviot or something.
And have you ever used?
And I've never used this before. I think this is another one that's much more common in America.
Because
so so interested.
You've spun with loads and loads of different things. Because when you did your uni end project, you used so many different ones.
I did, but these are very difficult to get hold of in this country, I believe.
Oh.
From what I've seen, because I have searched for them before, because they've been ones that I've been interested in trying, and I haven't been able to find them. So
that's lovely.
Really, really interesting. So thank you so much for those, Vicky. I'm really looking forward to spinning those.
Yeah. Be really interesting to see how they come up.
Yeah.
And it's quite a big braid as well. So
yeah, well they're 100 grams.
Oh, okay.
But they're they're lovely and airy.
So how much yarn will you get from that, do you know?
it depends completely on how I spin it, how many plies, how thick.
Oh, you don't even know what you're going to do.
I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But I was thinking that this, if I can get a nice consistent yarn from this, I think pairing this with a different colour, maybe commercial yarn or something, would be lovely in brioche, because it's so bouncy already.
Yeah.
That in brioche it would just be the squishiest thing on earth.
And what would you knit in brioche? Would you knit a garment or
a shawl?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yes, very, very excited about that. And I'll put links to all of Vicky's shop and podcast and magazine in the show notes. So, there's quite a lot in the other bag. Mum and I went to Fibre East. Was it last weekend? The weekend before? Anyway, a while ago.
Yeah,
it was really fun, wasn't it?
It was, yes. It was
we
really
went on
lovely.
a Saturday. We usually always go on a Sunday because it's much quieter on a Sunday. Apparently it was very quiet this Sunday. But it just means that you can get to the stands easier and stuff like that. But we went on Saturday and it was really, really nice because we got to meet up with really lovely people. So all of my friends from the retreat, we were there and chatting about what we were going to use for our cardigans, and it was just really, really lovely, wasn't it?
It was very, very pleasant. It was very relaxed, and
and we had reasonable weather. Fibre East seems to be, I don't know why, but it's either absolutely tipping down with rain or the most roastingly hot day. But it was okay on that Saturday. So now I got a few things from Fibre East. So the first stand, usually we'll walk around twice, won't we, before buying something? But we saw this stand. You spotted it, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
It's called Hooligan Yarns, and it was just, it was just so lovely.
It was really lovely.
So the principle behind Hooligan Yarns is they use, a lot of their sheep are rescued, and their yarns are a single sheep yarn. So I got 2 balls of yarn from Guthrie, and they come with this little card that says a little bit about the sheep's character. It was lovely to read those, wasn't it? And then on the back it says what meterage. So I've got 350 meters per ball. It's a 2-ply and it's 100 grams, and Guthrie is a Gotland. So they specialise in high welfare for their sheep and the single sheep yarns. It's just such a lovely thought behind it.
And the women who were there were so interesting, weren't they?
They were just lovely.
The love for the sheep really exuded from them, didn't it?
You could tell that they were really, really passionate. And it's just, it just made me want to cry, reading all about these sheep that they didn't have a fun start necessarily, but now they're getting cuddled. And they're getting shorn, and their yarn is being taken real care of, and it's a real special thing. And I just love it.
And you're thinking of doing the next Shawl Society?
I am. So the next Shawl Society has been released last Saturday, I think it was, and it's called the Asana shawl. It's beautiful. It's it starts garter stitch at the top, and then there's this lovely laciness down at the bottom. And I want to knit the large one using this, and I've got 700 meters, so I should have enough. Maybe I'll start that today.
Right.
Or maybe I should finish my other shawl first. Anyway, I think it will be lovely in this. Now, if you're sensitive, this isn't the softest thing in the world, but it's just got such a lovely story behind it.
It has, and it's like real wool.
Yeah, and Gotland as a breed, they're not, I don't think they're known to be the softest, but the story just means so much more to me than how soft it is, really.
And this is natural, so I think it will come out. I think it will come out really, really nicely because it's got some different shades in there.
All of her yarns are in the natural colours from the sheep.
Yeah, I think that'll look gorgeous.
And you got some as well?
Yeah, I think you've got it.
Yeah, because Mum wants me to knit something for her.
Yeah.
I wonder who yours was from. We should go and get it.
Well, mine was, I can't remember the name of the sheep, but it had a little bit of goat in it as well. And the goat had been rescued.
Dolly the Angora goat.
Yeah.
I've started following Hooligan Yarns on Instagram, and she posted some photos the other day about Dolly the sheep, what condition she was in when they got her, and now how just happy and just what a wonderful life she has now. So
yeah, that's good.
Really, really lovely. And yours is white, isn't it? It's sort of a creamy white.
Yeah.
So I was really, really thrilled with that. I don't think that will be my last time using their yarn because it's so special.
Yeah. We could have just stayed and
read all the different cards and just my other thing that I also got the yarn that I'm knitting the Dobby socks out of. Did I say that at the time? I can't remember. From Sarah's Texture Crafts at Fibre East. And I also got this. This is Knit by Numbers 4-ply from John Arben. I just love it so much. I've seen this colour on the John Arben stand quite a few times when I've seen them at shows and things, and I've convinced myself out of it, I think, because it's not, I think it is a me colour, but for a cardigan, a lot of my wardrobe is neutrals, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially cardigans, I sort of gravitate towards neutrals. But I'm sort of branching out a bit with my lovely Speckly Madewell that's got the blue and the green, and then I just thought, I've got to try it, because otherwise I just won't stop thinking about it. So it's sort of a peachy orange. I just think it's beautiful. And Knit by Numbers is, I think it's organically farmed, pure Falklands merino wool. So I'm almost certain it's a British yarn, spun in a British mill, which are things that I really like. And it's so reasonably priced. This is £10 for a skein of really, really good yarn. So I've got 5 for my cardigan. And that just seems like, that seems reasonable, doesn't it, for a cardigan?
So it is a lovely colour. I think it will really suit you.
I hope so.
Reminds me of sherbet.
Yeah, it reminds me of orange sherbet or peach fizz. They're the two names. Orange sherbet or peach fizz are the two names that I think of when I look at this. I've noticed that, and I think it, well, I don't know.
What were you going to say?
Whenever I look at colours, I always think of what their colourway name would be.
Oh, okay. Even if it isn't.
Yeah. Or I sort of relate it to what the colour reminds me of. I've noticed it a few times. But yeah. And I've already planned what cardigan I'm going to knit with that. So I'm going to knit this. It's the Andromeda by Pam Allen. I just think it's lovely. There's a cardigan that Pam Allen designed for the Loops 10 book, and I can't remember what it's called. Jules from So Sweet Violet's knitting it at the moment, and that's been on my list that I really, really want to knit. But I've noticed that what I would like is more lightweight cardigans in my wardrobe. So this is perfect because it is a fingering weight version, almost exactly, of that cardigan. Oh, so I thought that would be perfect. I might do it with longer sleeves because the sleeves are 3/4 length. But I really like that flappy. I think waterfall is the technical term, not flappy. But I really like that design because
Yeah.
it's the same as my Angelus Novus
Yeah,
as
and
the
you love
extra
that, don't
fabric,
you?
and I love that. So I'm really, really excited to start that. I wonder if I can wait until I finish my Madewell.
Okay.
We'll see.
So today you might be casting on the
Yeah.
Shawl Society, or you might be casting on that.
This is what happens. This yarn has all just been in a bag ready to podcast.
Yeah.
So I've been safe. I've been safe to continue with my projects. But now that I've got it out and looked at it,
Yeah.
I'm
Who knows
to
what
cast
will happen.
on. I also got this really, really cute little Notions case. It's from Pink Hazel, and I really liked her bags. I thought they were lovely. And this, she sells this as a travel organiser, so it's got a flap there. But I'm using it as my sock knitting kit.
Okay.
So all of these are 2.25mm needles.
Why have you got so many? Are they all high sharps, or are they?
No,
Okay.
this pocket is for high sharps,
Right. Okay.
and this pocket is for other.
Okay.
And bearing in mind, I've got so many socks in progress, I've got a stupid amount of 2.25mm needles. But yeah, I thought that would be really good. So, 2 different pockets. And I usually do the heel of my socks with a circular needle, so I've popped one of them in there as well. I just think it's so fun. And then there's a zip pocket at the side. And I've only got a pair of scissors in here so far. But I'll put some needles and some stitch markers in there as well.
Perfect.
I just really liked it.
Yeah.
And the fabric's got little metallic
Yeah.
bits on it.
It's nice.
And foxes.
Then you could attach it to your knitting bag.
You could. I've just got a little popcorn marker on there at the moment. So I was really pleased with that. I like that a lot. I think that was everything from Fibre East.
What's that on there?
Well, that isn't from Fibre East.
Oh, okay.
So that's everything from Fibre East, I think.
Right.
But overall, we just had a really nice day, didn't we?
We did have a lovely
It
day.
was really, really nice.
Yeah.
We were there first.
We were.
We got a lift with a friend who had a stand there. She sells yarn bowls. She's Yarn Bowl 987 on Instagram, and her shop's Wendy Fowler Pottery. And she gave us a lift, which was really, really kind. So we were at the front of the queue, and it was, yeah, we were waiting eagerly for it to open, weren't we?
Very eagerly.
I was making Mum do boomerangs with me. If you haven't seen Instagram, we've got a thing where a little app called Boomerang, and you can just do these really short motion fun videos. So yeah, I was making Mum do those.
And I was desperate to go to the loo.
Yeah. Which made it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
And I got to meet some really lovely people who watch the podcast, which was, it's just always, it's a surprise, but it's so nice. Yeah, it was just really, really lovely to meet people who watch the podcast. So if you did come up and say hello, thank you so much. It really meant such a lot to me.
It does
It
mean
was-
a lot to you, yeah.
Yeah, really, really lovely. So, the last thing in my bag of goodies, I'm in the Homespun House Harry Potter club. And I don't want it to be a spoiler for anyone.
Oh, okay.
So if you are in the club and you haven't got your yarn yet, then perhaps you have to just not look and fast forward at the same time. So it would be complicated.
So maybe not show it then.
Well, I spoke to Molly about it this morning, and she thinks most people probably have it.
Right.
So
But you know how you are with spoilers.
I know. You think I shouldn't?
I think you shouldn't. I think it's entirely up to you. It doesn't matter what I think.
Oh, I'm so unsure now.
Perhaps show it next time.
Okay. I'll show it next time. But if you haven't got it yet, it's amazing. And I love it. Have I shown you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll show you next time. So, yeah. I think that is everything. So,
going to the quilt show.
Oh yeah. Oh no, you've got lovely things.
Well, only a couple
Yeah,
of
show
bits
your lovely things.
So Auntie Jack and I went to
The Festival of Quilts yesterday.
Festival of Quilts.
Yeah.
International Festival of Quilts in Birmingham yesterday, and we mainly looked at all the quilts, and there were some fabulous ones there. There was one by Mary Main, who both Auntie Jack and I, we've been to a few of her classes, and she is incredible, and she did this wonderful 3D cotton reels quilt. It was really spectacular. And so we spent most of the day looking at the quilts, and you're going to be coming with us on Sunday.
Yeah.
So we'll probably look round all the stores more then.
And have a look at some of the quilts.
Yeah. So I only got a couple of things. I just got some thread.
They're lovely colours.
They are lovely colours. That's called baby pink. That one's bright peach.
Dani.
Yes, and I've taken these two off the card so they don't look as lovely as that. But they did come like that. And this one is iris petals, but it's hand dyed. Yeah, they're pretty, aren't they?
Really nice.
Pretty colours. Yeah.
And they're stranded.
Yes.
So you'll use them.
Yeah, they'll last forever. Yeah. So I got those.
They're nice.
And I just bought this from Doughty's. It was just again, this was very nicely packed, but I've unwrapped it. So I wrapped it back up. So and this was just from Doughty's. I got some fat quarters as well, a couple of fat quarters, and they were £1 for a fat quarter, and so they're quite useful. I got one for you. But Auntie Jack and I both got one of these jelly rolls because there's some really pretty
I love that
fabric
one.
in it. Yeah, it's got little rabbits and owls.
People can't see down there.
Oh, sorry.
So floral, and then rabbits and owls. I love those.
Yeah. And you'll like that one too.
Feathers.
That's feathers.
I've got this fabric.
Oh,
I've got that
I
half a
thought
metre
I
of this fabric,
recognised
yeah.
that. Yeah, and you'll like the next one.
Oh,
it's
clouds. I love clouds.
Yeah.
Oh, if they've got any more of these, I might have to get one.
Yeah.
Little dandelion clocks.
Well, there's 2 strips of each, so you could probably have.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
And like a
You can
honeycomb.
split it.
That's lovely floral.
Yeah. But they had.
Oh, bunnies in a different colour than
Yeah.
owls.
And then bees.
Oh, that's nice with the bees.
But they had a
Little
Liberty
dotty
stand
pattern.
there.
Are we going to visit the Liberty stand
totally.
on Sunday? Oh.
Yeah. I had a
cheese.
brief look, and there was a woman, and I think she was American,
Right.
but
Is she
she
just
had
buying it up?
a great big handful,
Mm.
and I thought, oh, she must be having such fun choosing those.
Looks even less nicely
Yeah,
done.
that's fine. Yeah, so that's just those couple of things that I got.
So, I have a giveaway to announce. So, episode before last, I think it was, we had the lovely package of goodies from Fondant Fibre, and so I drew for that giveaway, and it came out on random number generator, and it came out with number 481, and that was Anita bulb, and that's Anita. So get in touch, Anita, and I will send that out to you if you just send me your address. And Anita was saying in her answer that she's a multi-project person too. So she's got lots of projects on the go, and she was making a blanket for her sister-in-law's dog, I think it was, which I just thought was lovely.
Yeah.
Dogs definitely deserve special things, even if they're off ignoring us.
He's gone upstairs, hasn't
Yeah. He does exactly what he wants to do.
he? Yeah.
So thank you, Deb from Fondant Fibre, for giving us that giveaway, and Anita, do get in touch. We can get that out to you. Okay. And I also drew for our Shawl Society prize that Helen from Curious Handmade gave us. So she offered a subscription to someone who won, and Yarnder Woman won.
Oh.
Melinda, who has the Yarnder Woman podcast. So that was really, really fun. So she's already got her prize now. But yeah, thank you, Helen, for offering us that.
Yeah.
So while I was at Fibre East, or while we were at Fibre East, Sarah from Sarah's Texture Crafts gave us something to give away. And she also gave me something lovely. This is the giveaway. It's in plastic, so I'm going to try and pick it up without making too much crinkly noise. And it's really, really beautiful. So it's a sock blank, and it's shades of blue, and I can see green inside. I don't think you'll be able to, you might be able to see it. Whoops. There's green inside. Really, really beautiful, and it's sparkly. So that is what we have to give away. And Sarah also gave me a sock blank. This is also in her sparkle sock. I think these are one-of-a-kind colours. It says number 11. And Sarah's sparkle sock is one of my favourites. I've knit a couple of pairs of socks out of that, and it's just a really, really lovely yarn and lovely colours.
Oh, that feels really nice.
It's really soft, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's very sparkly.
It is.
But sometimes if there's lots of sparkle, it can make it a bit rough. But it totally doesn't in this, does it?
Not at all.
Really, really nice. And
Very
it's quite
soft.
fine, so it really, really picks up the light.
Yeah.
So mine looks like this. And I wonder if the giveaway one will look the same, just in different colours.
Yeah. That's very pretty.
Yeah, it's really, really lovely colours. So when I've knit sock banks like this before, I've knit you a pair of socks, and the sock bank was dyed sort of like a mirror. So there's bits of purple on each end, and then there's pink in the middle. And I knit the first sock from the top down, and to get it to match, I knit the other sock from the toe up so that they match. But these could just be completely mismatching dobby socks, couldn't they?
They could.
So I'm not sure yet. I'm going to have a think and cast that on. But it's really, really beautiful. So if you'd like to win the sock bank that we have to give away, then I'll set up a thread, and if you just come into the thread and let me know if you've used a sock bank before and what you've used it for, and if you haven't used a sock bank before, what you would like to use one for, because they're really, really fun. I find them really fun to knit from, because they allow the dyer to do different techniques, so it's really interesting to see how that translates from this flat piece into a round, if you're going to use it for socks, into something in the round. And yeah, I really, really like using sock banks. So thank you for that, Sarah. That's really, really lovely.
That's very kind.
And do come and join in the giveaway thread. Sarah's Texture Crafts is sarahstexturecrafts.com, and Sarah actually gave us a discount code. So if you go to her shop and use the code LBK, you get 10% off your purchase, which is really, really fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, just love those colours.
LBK.
Little
Bobbins
Smith. Yeah. I would quite like to try a sock blank in a shawl.
Oh, right.
Maybe a 2-colour.
Yeah. See how.
Because I've never tried it before.
Yeah.
Might be quite interesting, mightn't it?
I think it
Like
would.
stripe it with a plain colour.
Yeah.
Lots to think about.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you so much for that, Sarah. Really, really lovely. And yeah, I'll open up a thread, so do come and join in with that. So I think that is everything that we've had to show and chat about, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to be back again sooner than this time. But thanks again to everyone who's been in touch, encouraging me to podcast, because it's lovely to know there are people who are looking forward to watching. And
can I just say before you finish?
Yeah.
So when Auntie Jack and I were at the quilt show yesterday, a woman came up to me, Susan, who asked if I was little Bobbin's mum, and I had a really, really lovely chat with her. She was such a lovely woman, and she had a really nice bag that she'd quilted with a lovely button on that I noticed. But it was really lovely chatting to her, and she said how much you'd inspired her. Because she's a quilter, but she's knitting as well.
It's really lovely.
Yeah, it was. It's very special.
I spoke to Susan on Instagram last night, and she actually has a quilt with her group at the show. So we'll have to make sure that we go and see that on Sunday.
Yeah, we will do that. Yeah.
But this podcast, it's such a... I didn't realise what it would be, really. I just thought it would be definitely a way to engage with people more, because I have a quiet and kind of insular life, so I thought it would be that. But I never realised how much it would open up. I've just met the loveliest people doing this podcast, and I'm really, really grateful to you for being so lovely and kind. It's just, it's lovely, because the world can be a bit harsh and hard, but the people that I've met through this podcast have just been the loveliest people. It just it gives you hope and happiness. So I'm very, very grateful for that. So we are going to the Festival of Quilts on Sunday, which is exciting. Then I don't think we've got anything planned for a little while.
Yeah, so we haven't got anything else planned, but we, apart from going to Jessie Chorley's shop, because we weren't able to go last weekend.
Hopefully we'll be able to fit in a little trip to a yarn shop I haven't been to before.
Yeah.
That should be really fun.
Yeah. Have we made a date for that?
No.
Okay, we need to do that. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Mum, for coming on again.
Yeah.
And thank you so much to everyone who's watched.
Yeah.
Means such a lot to me. I really, really appreciate it. So I will look forward to seeing you next time. Probably not with Mum, because you're on holiday at the moment, aren't you?
I'm on holiday from work,
And you'll be back to work again. But I'll look forward to seeing you very, very soon. And do remember to pop over and join the giveaway. And Anita, get in touch with your address so I can send out your lovely package of goodies from Fondant Fibre. So thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.